I lived with severe anxiety and panic attacks for several years, with related symptoms including social anxiety, mild depression, and near suicidal hopelessness at times. But the simple technique that I'll share with you here was the foundation for reversing all of that, including the severe panic attacks. Try using this approach whenever you sense anxiety or panic arising, and if you're like me, you'll never have another panic attack again. However, please don't consider anything I say as a replacement for medical advice. I am a former anxiety and panic attack sufferer, and I believe this technique to be extremely useful, but I am not a licensed doctor. Okay, so in order to reverse panic attacks, it's helpful to first understand why panic attacks occur. And you probably already know that the process starts with what many people call negative thoughts, which includes worries, negative expectations, general fear-based thinking. Well, as an anxious person, with so many worries and fears constantly floating around and accumulating in your head, your subconscious mind might eventually begin to release stress hormones like adrenaline, even when you're not directly in a stressful situation or even thinking a fear-based thought. And when you notice this strange, out-of-context sensation of adrenaline without visual danger, stress, or any negativity present, you likely don't recognize it for the adrenaline response that it is. So here you are experiencing the fight or flight fear, but there's nowhere to run to and nothing to fight, and you're full of fear without knowing why. And this is actually where the real problem starts, because with that misunderstanding, you start to fear the symptoms and the sensation itself. And then that new added fear only adds more adrenaline to your system, which then causes the sensations and symptoms to grow more intense, and then your fear grows even more intense as well. So these two forces continue feeding each other and can gradually or quickly spiral into a full-blown panic attack. And I don't have to tell you how terrifying it is. As you can see here, it's literally fear maxed out. Now, this is a rather oversimplified diagram on the video here, but as long as you understand the gist of what I just said, that's enough to make sense of the solution that I'll describe. Because in order to stop panic attacks, all we have to do is break this spiral by flipping the switch on how you handle or react to anxiety and panic sensations in your body. Do that, and you will not experience another panic attack ever again. And some more good news is that you can use this same approach to dissolve social anxiety, anxiety-induced paranoia, phobias, agoraphobia, and other emotional turmoil. But this short video is specifically addressing panic attacks, so let's stay focused on that and move on to the most important material, which is the technique itself. So what we'll do now is a short mental exercise that demonstrates my approach to dissolving panic attacks. It's important that you actually try this exercise and not just watch the video, because the benefits really need to be experienced in order to understand how well this works. Even if you're currently experiencing a panic attack, or if you're having a level of anxiety that you think might turn into a panic attack, that's fine. In fact, during or just before a panic attack is really the best time to see how effective this method can be. Okay, for this exercise, you'll need to be seated in an area free from distractions with your eyes closed. You should not be driving or operating machinery of any kind. Please pause the video until you're ready to begin. Okay, please close your eyes now. And I'd first like you to simply place your mental awareness on the area inside your head. Just mentally observe and notice all the sensations that are there in that space, and just let them be there while you mentally watch them. Now, expand your overall awareness to also include your entire body. Scan your entire body by moving your awareness from one area to another. Notice that the space inside you is not empty space. It's full of physical sensations, or perhaps emotional sensations, but even those emotional feelings are experienced as physical sensations when you're directly observing them like this. If you're not sure what I'm talking about, you're probably trying too hard, or thinking that this is more complicated than it actually is. Some examples of the sensations that I'm talking about might be a feeling of thickness in your face, aching at the top of your head, tightness or fluttering in your chest or stomach, stiffness in your neck, throbbing in the front of your body, buzzing, tingling. If you're currently experiencing anxiety, some of these inner sensations may be very uncomfortable, but just do your best to not try to suppress anything. Just let all the sensations be there as you watch them as acceptingly as possible. Okay, I'd like you to now pick one of the most significant sensations that you notice in your body or head that you think is associated with your anxiety. Perhaps tightness in your chest, pressure in your head, buzzing, tingling, dizziness, throbbing. You might even have kind of an overall sensation throughout your body, like a bubble or something that extends through your body. The possibilities are really endless and different for everyone, and there could be many such energies in your body right now, but just pick one that you think is obviously associated with your anxiety or panic. The sensation that you find and choose might be very uncomfortable, but just do your best to watch it with your full, thought-free, and accepting mental awareness for a few moments. Okay, I'd now like you to come up with one single word to generally describe that sensation that you've chosen. And the word should not be an emotional word like anxiety or nervousness, but rather a physically descriptive word such as thickness, tingling, aching, heaviness, buzzing, or any other physically descriptive word. But keep in mind, you don't need to be exact, and you shouldn't need to think much about this. Just use the first descriptive word that comes to mind. Okay, so I'd now like you to greet your sensation. That's right, you'll say hello to it. For example, supposing that your word is thickness and that the sensation is in the center of your head, you would place your full mental focus on the sensation in the center of your head and say to it, "Hello, thickness." I know this is kind of strange, but it's really just a means to an end, so stick with me here and just give it a try. With attention on the sensation, speak the words to it, "Hello, sensation." Now, with your mental focus still on the sensation, say to it, "You are okay to be where you are." And now, rather than just say the words, also try to simultaneously project a genuine feeling of sincerity while you say to your sensation, "I am okay with you," and "I can handle you." Okay, keeping your mental focus on the sensation, I'd like you to now mentally observe it acceptingly for a full 15 seconds with pure, thought-free awareness. No analysis, no judgment, just observe it as it is, as if you're listening to it, as if you're listening to the sensations that it radiates. Try this now. Okay, great. Now, with your attention still or back onto the sensation, say to it with a feeling of sincerity, "Sensation, thank you for the message you are trying to give me." And you are okay to be where you are. And I can handle you. Okay, now, just let that sensation go. Forget about it. Alright, at this point, we're basically going to start over now. So once again, expand your awareness to include your entire body and head, and just notice all the sensations there in that space. Now, as before, I'd like you to pick another sensation in your body that you most closely associate with your current anxiety or panic attack. It might be the same or similar sensation, it might have moved or changed a bit, or you might choose something completely different, perhaps an overall body sensation. And like I said, some of the sensations might be very uncomfortable, ones that you spent years trying to avoid or suppress. But the truth is, those are the most rewarding and beneficial energies to spend time with and work with in this way. Acknowledging, embracing, and accepting such feelings is exactly what will break the panic attack spiral. So let's do that. Please choose another significant sensation in your body or head, and then, as we did before, you'll mentally observe it with your thought-free awareness, then find a descriptive word for it, greet it, communicate to it that you are okay with it being there in that space in your body, and finally spend some time fully listening to it with pure accepting concentration, knowing that you can handle its presence. I know that's a lot to remember, so if you need to briefly open your eyes to see the steps on the video, that's fine. But please pause the video and try this now. Okay, you can go ahead and open your eyes now. Ideally, you'd spend time performing this exercise with all the significant anxiety sensations in your body. And if you have time now, please feel free to pause the video and practice some more. And you can also try doing this with your overall body sensation or the overall feeling of a panic attack. Eventually, you'll notice the uncomfortable sensations begin to dissolve, sometimes during the session or perhaps within hours after practicing, and that's great. But keep in mind that that should not be the objective here or any time while practicing this exercise, because remember, attempts to suppress, dissolve, or avoid feelings are driven by fear, and fear is the source of these anxiety sensations in your body. It makes them grow, even into panic. By flipping that around and instead completely mentally embracing anxiety, that is how you stop panic attacks forever. And this is all you need to know in order to never escalate into a panic attack ever again. It might take some daily practice to get used to this new mental approach, but the long-term benefits can be truly extraordinary. It changed my life so greatly, and I've seen it do the same for a lot of people. And the really beautiful thing is that you can even adapt this same approach to dissolve other anxiety symptoms, including agoraphobia, derealization, hypochondria, as well as things like public speaking fear and other phobias. It's really amazing. If you'd like to learn more about this on a much deeper level and learn how to prevent anxiety from arising in the first place, please consider listening to the complete audio on my website at panicattacker.com. But like I said, the process I've described here is all you need to stop panic attacks. It's been a nearly miraculous solution for me, and I know it's worked for a whole lot of other people, and I hope it helps you as well, because I've been through panic attacks and wouldn't wish the experience on anyone. So, hope it helps. Thank you for watching.